So we typically have CTA students start in the sim for instrument because it gives them a good foundation before they get in the airplane. It's also a really kind of cool feature in the sim. You can pause the session and discuss maybe why this is not the right procedure or why we do something a different way or what happened, or talking, kind of like breaking down the situation a little bit without having to continue to fly the airplane. In the airplane, you don't have that feature. You can't just like pull over on the side of the road and start talking about what did we do here. So it gives the student a good foundation on just how to work the new avionics, how to work new navigational systems, different types of instrument procedures before we start putting all that together in the airplane.
Flying in the sim for instrument is, again, very different from private. And when I started the simulator in private, because I was able to see the outside view, and now everything is just blank, and I am just focusing on looking at the instruments and relying on that instead of looking outside and the horizon and everything.
So kind of similar. They have a good foundation, and so hopefully it connects a little bit better and makes more sense when they get in the airplane. Again, they can also pause and talk about things in the sim, and we can't do that in the airplane. So hopefully we've discussed questions previously that can now help translate into the actual instrument flying in the plane.
In the sim, I'm not like that nervous, but I feel like on the plane I'll actually be pretty nervous because I won't have that outside view where I can see how far I am from the ground or how much I'm banking and stuff like that.
They're all probably a little bit different, maybe kind of building on one skill at a time at the beginning and then putting them all together towards the end. So typically you would start with, how to use a VOR. Hopefully they remember a little bit of this from private. So how to use a VOR, and then how to do different types of turns. So in instrument we have like time turns, magnetic compass turns, standard rate turns. So what do all these things mean, and how do they translate into something in the future for instrument training, like approaches and things like that. Also doing a DME arc. So just the little simple things before we start flying approaches themselves. So it's not so much approaches in stage 1 in the sim for part 141, it's more of just the foundational skills and then being able to use those skills in the future for the actual approaches.
To be honest, I think instrument is a lot more difficult just because I am really just focusing on looking at the instruments, and private was more focused on looking outside, but then also looking at the instrument and having those two, but not only have that one.
If you've got the funds for it and you've got the passion to fly more types of flying, I would say go for it. It gives you more opportunities, more advantages. You have more training, more skills, more safety, better understanding of weather and systems and things like that. And you get to fly more often, right? You get to fly if it's cloudy, or if it's nighttime, you have more ability to fly safely at night and be more comfortable in those kind of conditions. So I would say if you've got the funds, definitely go for it. Definitely doesn't hurt.
I think every pilot should honestly try to get their instrument rating, just because you have more options to fly more. Because obviously you can fly when it's not VFR weather, and you also get more skills by looking at those instruments and not just focusing on outside.